In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 best cities to live in United States in 2022. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Have you felt uninspired? Maybe you've lived in the same town your entire life and just feel stuck? Well, then it might be time to join the 56% of Americans who plan on moving this year. Now, since 2022 made many jobs remote, a lot of those people are actually moving out of metropolises to smaller, less crowded places, but not everyone. In fact, over 82% of Americans still live in cities, and a lot of the cities on this list are growing fast. So even with the obvious problems to big city life such as traffic, homelessness, crime and a more expensive cost of living, many people still want to push their comfort zones, chase their dreams and move to a big city. And considering the wide array of culture, diversity, amenities and incredible opportunities the most big cities offer, I can't blame them if you're new around here. The criteria we use to determine a city's true size is big. Cities have metro populations over 3 million residents. Medium-sized cities have metro populations between 1.5 to 3 million. And then small cities have metro populations between 500,000 and 1.5 million. And we ranked each metropolis according to their economy, safety, cost of living, schools, amenities and overall quality of life. Here are the top 10 best big cities to live in for 2022. So let's start. Number 1, Seattle, Washington. You might be surprised that Seattle took home the number 1 spot this year, but aside from the lack of sunshine and expensive cost of living with a median home value of $816,000, there just aren't many negatives about the place. Oh, your world swarming with homelessness in '94, and it's a liberal hack. Oh well, maybe it's because I'm used to cities like LA or San Francisco, which actually are dirty, and have huge homeless populations. But everything people say about Seattle is really blown out of proportion. Well, besides the traffic, that really is bad. The economy is amazing. However, with a median household income of nearly $103,000, I had no state income tax on top of that, and the high home prices are actually pretty affordable for most, with just 11% of the population living in poverty, and with legit big city amenities, tons of fun neighborhoods and some of the most beautiful and unique surrounding nature. Seattle is the best big city to live in for 2022. Number 2, Denver, Colorado. If you thought Tampa was a hot spot for millennials, wait until you get a load of Denver, where 2/3 of residents are under the age of 44. And since the population continues to grow by 1.5% each year, despite having already grown by 24% over the past decade. If you're even thinking about it, I'd move here ASAP, because the median home cost of $505,000 isn't getting any cheaper. But if you do give in to the allure of panoramic mountain views, endless outdoor recreation, hip city amenities, and being able to catch a show at Red Rocks Amphitheater, be warned that you'll probably never want to leave, and why would anyone? Not only is Denver fun and surrounded by beautiful nature, it's also got one of the best economies, with the median household income at a whopping $85,700, which still increases by nearly 6% each year. Tons of new companies also want to relocate here due to Denver's highly educated workforce and business-friendly environment, so the already low poverty rate of just 12.9% will likely only go lower. Number 3. Austin, Texas. I know. Shocking, right? But yes, with an incredibly low crime rate, extremely good public schooling system and one of the best economies in the nation, with a median household income of $81,000. Austin is yet again the best mid-sized city to live in the US, and with no state income tax, great weather, a really good foodie scene, tons of fun festivals, amazing nightlife and live music, literally everywhere. It's no surprise that Austin's been the fastest growing city for an entire decade now. Of course, all these new residents also mean the cost of living continues to rise. But the median home cost of $499,000 is still actually relatively reasonable considering all that the city offers. Austin is not just the best medium city to live in for 2022, it might also be the best city of any size in the United States. Number 4, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Most people move to Minneapolis for the same reasons. They moved to Dallas. Affordability and jobs. Although Minneapolis job market has had a bit more time to mature than the recently booming economy of Dallas, and thus is much more diversified with the highest concentration of Fortune 500 companies of any city. There are so many good jobs in the finance, tech, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, renewable energy and biomedical industries, leading to a median household income of $83,700, which continues to grow by 4.2% each year. This makes the median home value of just $11,000 that is really affordable. Although considering temperatures regularly drop below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, there probably wouldn't be many people willing to pay more. But when it isn't -40 with the wind chill, the Twin Cities have beautiful summers in offer. So much to do with great farm-to-table restaurants, a thriving art scene, teams in all 5 major pro sports, beautiful nature, and the best park system of any metropolis, including over 120 miles worth of bike paths. It's no wonder nearly 30,000 new residents move here every year. There is a big division between the affluent and poor areas, however, as the poverty rate is 19.1% and the violent crime rate is 144% above the national average. So despite it being the cleanest U.S. city, Minneapolis still needs to clean up its act. Number 5. San Diego, California. From one famously casual city to another, acceptance that at 14,000 footers you're at sea level with beautiful beaches and some of the best waves on the mainland. But besides the palm trees, warm temperatures and nearly 270 sunny days a year, San Diego doesn't really feel like it's in California. While the Golden State has plenty of problems, San Diego does not really. Sure, there's homelessness in traffic, but neither are anywhere near as bad as in LA or San Francisco. It's much cleaner too, and unlike the other Californian cities, San Diego is incredibly safe. There's also so much to do with tons of good restaurants, great nightlife in the Gaslamp Quarter, 17 museums throughout Balboa Park, and pretty much every type of outdoor recreation you can imagine. But that doesn't mean San Diego's perfect. The unemployment rate has skyrocketed to 4.7%, and the cost of living, while cheaper than most other Californian cities, is still ridiculously high, with a median home value of $755,000. Sure, there also are good jobs, with a median household income around $84,000, but your options are also much more limited than they would be in the Bay or LA. Number 6. Boston. I like Massachusetts, Boston, so it always have a soft spot in my heart. But even I was surprised at just how amazing of a place to live in. It truly is. Although often overlooked for other flashier or faster-growing metropolises, Beantown is probably the most historic city in this country, with so much of our nation's founding up to the Revolution taking place here, and the city's done a great job of mixing the old with the new, as while there are tons of historical buildings, markers and sites. Boston's also one of the few places in the US that feels like a real cosmopolitan city with lots of amenities, great walkability and public transportation. A beautiful, modern skyline, gorgeous surrounding nature and parks. So much culture and, of course, jobs. So many innovative companies are based here due to the suburbs having the best schools in the nation, and there being some of the best universities right across the river in Cambridge. Biotech, engineering, education, finance, medicine and robotic, or just a few of the many cutting-edge job opportunities leading to a median household income of $95,000. All things considered, at the high cost of living with a median home value of $666,000 is worth it for most, especially since Boston is one of the safest major cities. But if you hate the cold or shoveling just snow, the temperatures regularly drop to the single digits Fahrenheit and there's over 4 feet of annual snow. Number 7. Portland, Oregon. What? How did Portland make the list? The news says there's a homeless crisis, the liberals are rioting and Antifa is lighting everything on fire. While the news is portrayal of Portland could easily be mistaken for some post-apocalyptic thriller. Portland's metro population still continues to grow by 0.75% annually, and the housing market is so hot that you can't even find a house here without like 30 offers on it that goes for 20% above asking price. Why are so many people moving to Portland? You might wonder. Well, because most of what the news says about the place just isn't true. Sure, there were riots, and you will see plenty of boarded-up buildings downtown, but a lot of it was overblown, as the city as a whole is actually pretty safe for its size, and most of the issues are only on the west side. Real Portland is when you cross the Willamette River into the east side, where there's an abundance of cute, diverse, character-filled neighborhoods featuring quirky shops, live music, art galleries, and amazing local food, coffee and beer. In fact, Portland's been rated the #1 foodie city for many years running now. And while it is pretty expensive, with a median home price of $520 grand, that's actually really cheap compared to most other West Coast cities, especially when you consider all the great job opportunities leading to a median household income of $79,000. Number 8. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix's strong job market, its relatively low cost of living, as well as, of course, its abundant sunshine made it to the top best cities to live in the US. The quality of life and net migration ratings were also factored in, as were the results of a public survey of thousands of people looking into what matters to them in a place to live. Phoenix has a lot of opportunities as far as industry and entertainment. It is seasonally preferable to other areas of the country where there is inclement weather as well. In Phoenix, you never have to go very far to get what you need. There is ample production in the area to suit every individual. Public transportation is decent here with Uber and Lyft as other options, and plenty of drivers. The light rail service is also improving public transit and making it easier than ever to get from one end of the valley to the other with ever-expanding service. The Phoenix is great for lifestyle for active adults, and those families with discretionary income is great. Number 9. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ranks 9th out of the 150 most populous metro areas in the US for affordability. The Western Michigan metro area also scores highly for quality of life, which takes into account the quality of public high school education, commute time, property and crime rates, and general happiness among residents. Per the Gallup National Health and Well-Being Index, which asks residents about where they live as it pertains to mental well-being, sense of security, community pride and more. Number 10. Charlotte, North Carolina. Even though its population might not technically suggest that yet, Charlotte has the economy of a big city with 9 Fortune 500 companies headquartered here, the second largest banking sector in the US, and the median household income of $66,400, increasing by 5.5% annually. It makes sense that so many people want to move here, with the metro population increasing by 1.64% each year, especially since the median home value is just $290 grand. And whether you're a young professional trying to jumpstart your career or looking for a good place to raise a family, Charlotte has it all from quiet suburbs to a bustling downtown scene. Although it's technically called Uptown here, which is kind of fitting as the city really is up and coming. Sure, there are a few dangerous parts you'll want to avoid, but for the most part, Charlotte is a clean and safe city with wonderful food, hip nightlife, fun museums, tons of art, professional sports, so much greenery and incredibly friendly residents. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.